doesn't start tomorrow. Recovery starts right now. Here to help, it's Rated R for Recovery on 96 K-Rock and 96krock.com.
Oh, 277 or 775-9600. We are Rated R for Recovery on 96 K-Rock and 96krock.com. I'm an alcoholic that doesn't drink. I'm a drug addict that doesn't use, and I'm a dead man that walks among the living, and that is by no righteous deed of my own. And my name is Fletch.
Good morning. I'm not on.
I can hear you fine.
I can't hear me.
Well, I don't know what to say. I can hear you fine.
All right, good morning.
Why don't you tell the audience who you are?
I'm not sure.
You are Joy Thomas, and
Okay.
you are the co-host of Rated R for Recovery.
Okay, I think I can hear me. Hello. Good morning.
These are things we check before we go on the air.
I didn't realize that I was only getting one speaker.
Okay, all right. Well, one speaker is better than no speakers.
Right. But I couldn't hear my voice. And I could only hear the chorus of One Day at a Time. I couldn't hear Joe singing. That's how I realized.
That's how you realize
something was wrong.
Yeah. That happens in Beatles music, too.
Oh, I know. I love it, though, when you have full stereo for the Beatles.
Okay, 277 or 775-9600 is the number. You can call in. Let me preface all this by saying we are not doctors. We are not counselors.
Nope.
We are not therapists.
Nope. We need therapists.
We do?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, we do. We are merely people that have recovered from a seemingly hopeless state of mind and body. And to show others how to do so the way we did it is the only way we know. Right?
Oh, it's the best way. We've been given a gift.
We have. What a blessing it is. Certain things come up in our lifetime after we get clean and sober that kind of hitch up the side of the head. That can be a direct result to your own actions.
And it's called life.
Yeah, but it can be avoided if you're spiritually fit.
Or perfect.
Because, is that what I'm saying?
No, that's not what you're saying.
Are you trying to help me?
I am.
You are. She loves me.
I'm always trying to help.
She does love me. We are very fortunate to have two people in the studio that I met when I was locked up.
Locked up?
Yeah, locked up, which I was many times. I don't know if you've heard my story, but I'm a 5-time convicted felon.
Yeah, I was arrested once, but they let me sit down in the. I didn't have to do anything except get fingerprinted, and then they let me just sit in a chair until my sister came to get me.
Did they put you in the car?
Yeah, I had to go in the car.
Did they put the cuffs on you?
I don't remember that part. Yeah, I don't remember.
Did they clip you out?
I went willingly.
Well, I'm sure you do. If you don't go willingly, it just gets a lot worse. Miss Tanya, would you move the microphone close to your mouth, please? Okay. Yes. All right. Now, these two, I met both of you in jail. One is Loretta. And Loretta, what's your last name again?
From the jail.
That's right.
Loretta from the jail.
I love that woman. And I was actually, when I met you, I cried. And
me?
No, not you. When I met you, I cried, and you were a blessing in my life. And I wish you, you still are. I just don't get to see you as much because you are now like next to President Obama, the hardest woman in the world to get in touch with. And this is Tanya Slater from TLS Consulting. Good morning.
Good morning.
Tell us about TLS Consulting.
We do substance abuse and mental health treatment services, and we do that throughout our office in North Fort Myers. We have an office in downtown Fort Myers. We have one, we work at the jail, the Lee County Jail, out on Ortez Boulevard, and we also work in the Salvation Army. So I provide services to basically federal, state, county, people who've been in trouble with the law, pretty much on all levels at this point.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And after the rain, aftercare.
Yes.
And relapse prevention at After the Rain.
So when you said After the Rain, because we had Gracie from After the Rain in here a couple of weeks ago, when you say "and after the rain," what do you mean by that? Is this where you put the people when they get out of jail? Tell us about that. What do you mean?
We provide a service to After the Rain every Thursday evening.
Oh.
It's aftercare and relapse prevention.
So you go into the house itself?
Yes.
And that would be you that does that?
Me and another lady that you may know.
Who shall remain nameless.
Yeah.
So now, Tanya, when did you... TLS stands for what?
Well, Think, Learn, and Succeed.
Oh. Mm-hmm. I thought it stood for Tanya Lynn Slater.
No, it doesn't.
Is that your middle name?
No.
Oh, it doesn't. Okay, so nothing to do with that. All right, I'm glad for that. Anyway, so it takes a little bit of the ego out of it. Now, when did you start it?
2000.
And it's been going strong since 2000.
Right, but here's the thing. I started it in 2000, but we actually incorporated and all that in 2001, and I did start in 2001. So it's been together since 2000, but 2001 we actually began treatment, and it was smaller, a lot smaller level then. So I would say about 2002 to 3 it started to really take off and grow.
And how do people now see, people are listening and they're saying, well, geez, I might like that. How do they get a hold of you?
They can call my office at in North Fort Myers, and that's area code 239-997-7770.
Do you have a website?
No, I don't have time to operate it, so I've never gotten one. But I do have an email.
We have two producers. One is Troy. One is homesick today. His name is Tripod Bill, and they are very much computer savvy. So maybe one of them can help you with that at some point.
That would be great, because that's one thing I just haven't had a chance to do.
Yeah, and I can't do. How about you, Miss Loretta from the jail? No, I barely can type my name. So now you have a email.
Right. It's tlsconsulting@yahoo.com.
And that's easy. Once again, tlsconsulting@yahoo.com. You said a minute ago, and you've been saying this over and over, that you provide treatment. Now, treatment to me, what is treatment? Tell us what treatment is.
Well, it runs... from outpatient or intervention type services all the way through residential care. We do the outpatient portion of that. In the jail, I guess it is outpatient the way we license, but that program that you were speaking of a while ago is 6 months long. So, and people live there. So that one is day in, day night. They're there 24 hours a day.
What program is you referring to?
The one at the jail.
You mean the drug? What was it actually called?
RSAT.
It's residential drug. It's they changed the name of it. It used to be the Betty Scruggs program, and now it's back to substance abuse treatment program, SATP.
And you're in charge of that,
right?
Okay. And I was there more than one occasion, and I was. But you know what we do, and it doesn't matter how we get there. Actually, it's what happens once we get there. That's why there's a saying in Alcoholics Anonymous: keep coming back. Because you're not going to, well, I shouldn't say this. It depends on each person.
When you can't go away.
No, because you have to write out a request form when you're in jail to get to the tent. But you get to wear shoes, and you get to wear pants.
And you get to see the sun.
You get to see the sun.
And go eat.
Well, in the
door.
stockade, you could always see the sun, but they don't have the stockade anymore. And you get to what now?
You can walk across there's exercise yard. And you go across it to see, to eat your 3 times a day.
Right.
So it's nice.
Chow hall.
That's a nice part of that, right?
That is a nice part of it. And it is a privilege to be able to do that.
Yes.
However, I was going to preface all this by saying the very first time I went to you was just to get out of the stockade. Simply to get out of Reds and go to the stockade. Reds, for those of you who don't know, are the jumpsuits that are given to you when you're locked up. And I was seen by a number of different... what do you call your people? Treatment?
Well, we are counselors and therapists.
Okay.
Right.
All right. So there's a number of people...
We have professionals in the room.
You got that right.
Yeah.
But many of my people are also in recovery. Many of the people are still in recovery as well. So, they know people. They know how it all works. To go into the 12-step program. So that's good.
I think it's. You know what? I think it's. I'm not going to say essential. I was going to, because when we come into recovery, it's not so much what you did and what I did, it's how you felt and how I feel. And how that feeling of hopelessness. And I was speaking with someone. Who was I speaking with? The lady from Hazelden, I think. And I was trying to say that it was hard for me to understand how you could understand me if you weren't like me.
Right.
Go ahead. What are you going to say?
That recovery begins anytime, anywhere, one alcoholic talks to another.
That's what I mean.
To share experience, strength, and hope, and that's very powerful.
It is.
It's where the magic happens.
There's a lady, I'll say Mary P., who worked in the jail, and she intaked me the time I accepted. I went through the felony drug court program. I don't know if you know that. We haven't stayed in touch, but that was one of the best things that ever happened to me. And she was an amazing woman in my life. Just helped me greatly. As you were, you helped me. Well, I'm referring to Tanya, our guest in the studio, by the way. You're listening to Rated R for Recovery on 96 KROC. 96krock.com is Miss Loretta from the jail and Tanya Slater from TLS Consulting. TLS Consulting, located in North Fort Myers and downtown Fort Myers. And the phone number again?
239-997-7770.
And the phone number here is 277 or 775-9600. And you're welcome to call in with your questions or comments in this hour that we have to work. So now, where are you? When you send your counselors into jail, what are some of the things that what is their job? What are they supposed to do?
Okay, well, we have two different parts of the program there. One is life skills, and one is the substance abuse program. So we have, it depends on which section that you're going into. There's a 3-month program in the life skills section and 6-month in substance abuse. So, of course, people who work in the substance abuse part of that need to have some sort of a degree or license or certification, and then that's a big thing, that they know what they're doing. We do a lot of, and you've probably heard this since you've had Hazelden here and maybe some other treatment people in, but we do cognitive behavioral therapy.
What is that? Tell the listeners what that is.
Okay, well, it's based on behavior and your response to that. So in other words, like if you grew up in a home that was an alcoholic parent, you learn to behave in certain ways and respond in certain situations. And even though you grow up and you go out onto your own, you still behave certain ways. And maybe you can't have relationships and you just can't stay married, or you can't, be committed to any one thing.
Or even like stay in a job.
Yes.
You can't keep a job for longer than a year without finding some reason to leave or whatever. And things that may have served you very well as a child to get through your family stuff no longer work for you then as an adult.
Wow.
Correct. So what we do is we teach people how to behave.
Probably me.
To be aware of that. So in other words, if I'm fearful every time that my father comes home, and I don't know if I'm going to get beat that day, or if he's going to be passed out, or if he's going to throw the dinner at my mother, then every day when I come home from work, I'm going to have that little sinking feeling, as I walk in the back door. So in other words, we try to teach people, be aware of what that feeling is. It's an emotion. It's not real. It's just an emotion. Right. And so we have actions. So a lot of people, they're so impulsive. Well, addicts, impulsive. They can't help it. It just goes with
I've got
it.
a feeling I got to do something about it. And
now.
it's not going to be good for me.
No. And in the moment you do it, you think maybe that's all you have that you can do.
Yeah, I found out in therapy that supper time was just a really anxious time for me because we had so many altercations around the dinner table, and so somebody said, well, what's your worst time of the day? And I was like, between 5 and 7 p.m. I hate that time, and it was something that I was able to deal with as an adult, and sort of get over that.
Well, and that's important, because what we try to teach people is, look, you're not that little girl anymore. You're a grown woman, or you're a grown man now, and you don't have to. That's not. You don't have to feel that way anymore. It's your home. It's safe at your home, but it's just that kind of a thing.
277 or 775-9600. You're listening to Rated R for Recovery on 96 KROC and 96krock.com. Our guests once again in the studio are Tanya Slater and Miss Loretta from the jail, who are employees and owners of TLS Consulting in North Fort Myers and downtown Fort Myers. Miss Loretta from the jail,
Yes, sir.
what are the tragedies that you see every day?
I think the biggest tragedy that I see every day is what happens to the children, and how the chaos and confusion that the addict alcoholic has gone through. Now the children are also going through it, and mom and dad don't know that they're even
I'm
chaotic.
not hurting anybody but myself.
Right.
And
I
the-
think
Nonsense.
that's the biggest thing. The parenting program that we have as part of the program in the jail is wonderful. And it's in different stages, toddlers, all the way to the teen years. So the teen years, depending upon the age of the inmate, the children that are involved, they will get to learn about that stage and learn why the kids are now acting up.
Yeah, when I was 10, I was never going to be like
Never
that.
be like
when
that.
I was 11, my eyes opened up and I thought I was 16 and, I wanted to
Right.
go my own way and do my own thing.
Well, and that type of thing that you said about the children, that develops into what you said, right? About
Right.
these learned behaviors.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's-
Absolutely.
And speaking of that, there's she brings up a good point. We have several different programs in there that we do, and that's parenting, anger management. Help me, Loretta. All kinds of life skills from A to Z. Everything from finances to how to. Right now, employability is a big deal. We're trying so hard to get, because there's a lot of people who have not, like you pointed out, Joy, that they don't have a job skills because they don't stay anywhere for any length of time. So we're trying to get them to, get sort of a little resume ready, only that they could take with them and be able to fill it out appropriately. As you know, a lot of things are online now.
Yes.
They can't, and if people can get to you, they can talk to you and tell you what that they can do. But if they can't get to you,
Yes, absolutely.
it's rough.
I didn't mean to interrupt.
No,
you're
no, you're
absolutely
right.
right. You're
Yeah.
absolutely right. I can sell ice to an Eskimo, and if I have to go online and tell you I'm a 5-time convicted felon, I'm not getting the job.
The
But
thing
Go ahead.
on online applications, there's not a place to say that the person who's applying is able to get federal bonding, which is a very important thing. And
Tell us what federal bonding is.
federal bonding is insurance that if you own a little business, a mom and pop business, or a big corporation, and you're going to hurt my business in any way, because of your background, and it doesn't have to be just a felony. It can be bad credit. It can be lapses of employment. And federal bonding will ensure the person who wants to hire you that if your business takes a hit, they will be covered. And it is money that is available to people, to everybody. You don't. It doesn't have to be a felony. Petty theft is a misdemeanor, but a lot of people don't want you in their cash register when you.
You didn't want me in your cash register.
So federal bonding would work for that as well. But there isn't a spot for that any longer when you're doing something online to explain. So
Very interesting.
yeah, we do.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I thought we were.
No,
leaving.
for the.
He's
for-
got something else
Yeah,
going on
I've
over here with
got.
this guy.
I'm very animated, so I get up and I'll dance, and as long as I keep my clothes on, we're all
Pay no
safe.
attention to the man behind the curtain.
Right.
I have to tell you that
Go ahead.
reentry back into the community without the criminal behavior is something that we work on from day one. Reentry starts the day that an inmate gets arrested. And when our inmates leave, they all have a plan. They have a plan of recovery. I would think about 85% of the people that are incarcerated
That's what-
have
what?
a drug or alcohol problem, and that's what brings them there.
Although they won't admit that. There's
Right.
a lot of them who
Really?
don't. Oh, no.
But what are they doing in the program if
Well,
they're not
that's
admitting it?
my
They're
question
getting out of the
to them.
stockade. That's what they're doing. They get to wear shoes and get to walk outside.
They're
because
pulling you, aren't they?
I am telling you, that is the main reason when we're all sitting in there, that we sign up for those things. Because when they come in, when you get arrested, you get go through a booking process, and they ask you if you have a drug or alcohol problem. And I said no every time until the last time. Mm-hmm. I said no, I'm good. I don't need that. But then when I got to the stockade, I was filling out the request form to come to you guys every time. What percentage of the amount of people you see in jail come to your aftercare program? Is there any way of tracking that?
Yes, but I don't have those statistics with me. I don't know.
Is it high or low?
It's low.
It is. Mm-hmm. What a shame.
Yeah. But the ones who do, they do very well.
Oh, I'm sure.
And, it's like you said, I think sometimes they think they're good, I don't have to do that, I don't have to do that. But I want to give credit to Sheriff Mike Scott and the programs out there, because I got to tell you something, they have been so good to us. I mean, they have been open to letting us try things, and they've been very good. And the county has supported us from the beginning with allowing, because a lot of places, they don't have all these things that we have in Lee County, and they keep adding components all the time, and it's just been that part of it I can't say enough about for him. I appreciate him very much.
He's a good guy.
He really
is. He's a good guy. I'm laughing because we tried to get him on the show, and every time we get to his secretary, she says, it just doesn't fit into his schedule. Now, we're on from 6:30 to 7:30 in the Sunday morning, and I know why it doesn't fit into his schedule, and I accept that. He's a very busy man.
It doesn't fit in my schedule.
No, but it doesn't fit into anybody's schedule. 277 or 775-9600 is the number. You're listening to Rated R for Recovery on 96K Rock and 96krock.com. Our guests in the studio are Miss Loretta from the jail and Tanya Slater from TLS Consultants. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back. You're listening once again to 96K Rock and 96krock.com.
From the makers of the Biker Map, it's the all-new The Boater Map.
Hey, this is Chris with the Biker Map. If you thought the Biker Map was big, get ready for the all-new The Boater Map.
Listing and directing you to the best restaurants and bars on the water, service shops, and more. The Boater Map helps you with all your nautical needs.
In over 400 locations in Southwest Florida, all the way from Englewood down to Marco Island. Be sure to check us out on theboatermap.com.
For more on The Boater Map, visit 96krock.com.
And don't forget, there's a map for that.
Every Friday night at 6:45 p.m., experience Celebrate Recovery at Grace Church at 13 Southeast 21st Place in Cape Coral. The purpose of Celebrate Recovery is to encourage fellowship and to celebrate God's healing power in our lives as we work our way along the road to recovery. By working through the 12 steps and 8 principles of Celebrate Recovery, we grow spiritually and we are freed from our hurts, habits, and hang-ups. Celebrate Recovery every Friday night at 6:45 p.m. at Grace Church, 13 Southeast 21st Place in Cape Coral.
Have you been charged with a crime? You could face serious penalties for conviction, and it is vitally important that you have skilled legal assistance on your side during this time. Call Brian L. Edwards, Esquire, Attorney at Law today. 888-512-6254. Results matter. With a track record of success, our methods are tried and true. Mistakes happen, but we can help. Brian L. Edwards, Esquire, Attorney at Law. Visit FortMyersCriminalLawFirm.com or call 888-512-6254. Have you been considering a kitchen renovation or bathroom remodeling? There's no one better to call than the professionals at Honey's Construction. Value, beauty, and functionality. Get the right design for your kitchen or bathroom and add significant value to your home. Call Honey's Construction today at 229-4934 for a free in-home consultation. Honey's Construction's purpose and mission is to fulfill dreams and to be grateful for the many blessings we enjoy each and every day. 229-4934.
If you're looking for a place to find recovery, please consider the 1149 Foundation, located at 50 Pine Island Drive in North Fort Myers in the AutoZone Plaza. We currently have 3 meetings per day at noon, 5:30, and 8 p.m. We've been offering this area a safe place for over 20 years. No matter what you've done, no matter where you've been, you're not alone, and are welcome at the 1149 Foundation. Come check us out or call 677-6107. That's 677-6107.
Get the taste of home while eating out. Gwendolyn's Cafe and Catering. Open daily for breakfast and lunch and located at 2400 First Street in downtown Fort Myers. Gwendolyn's Cafe and Catering specializes in homemade soups, salads, sandwiches, and desserts. And Gwendolyn's has been rated 5 stars by Urban Spoon and Yelp. Get the taste of home while dining out. Or let us bring the taste of home to your home with our free delivery. Gwendolyn's Cafe and Catering, 2400 First Street, downtown Fort Myers.
A Heavenly Cut Landscaping and Celebrate Pressure Washing has been serving Lee County for over 7 years. Commercial and residential landscaping is our specialty. We also have an experienced pressure cleaning staff as well. A Heavenly Cut Landscaping and Celebrate Pressure Washing offers a free on-site estimate and is available by calling 738-9009. That's 738-9009. We are grateful for the opportunity to help beautify your property. Call today, 738-9009. A Heavenly Cut Landscaping and Celebrate Pressure Washing.
That's going to leave a mark. But not if you bring your vehicle to D-Hab, your automotive rehab. Your one-stop shop for all auto body work and paint. No job too big or small. With over 25 years experience, D-Hab can make your vehicle look like the accident never happened. D-Hab, your automotive rehab, is located at 2534 Highland Street, 1 block off Edison Avenue in Fort Myers. So if you have a scratch, ding, dent, or bent, call D-Hab, your automotive rehab at 332-1813.
My name is April, and I'm an addict. I totaled my car and trashed the best guy I ever had before I got help. Thank God for Swaffis. They saved my life. Now I go for counseling once a week, and life is good.
Alcohol and drug problems don't have to ruin your life. Swaffis has outpatient, detox, and residential programs for all. Addiction is a disease. Recovery is possible. We will help. Call 332-6989 now or visit us online at swfas.org. Designs that are enduring. Designs that are engaging. Designs from Ensight. Ensight is a leading Florida-based design, planning, and engineering firm offering innovative planning, landscape architecture, civil engineering, and more. Whether it's a place to live, work, learn, shop, or play, let the award-winning design team at Ensight help you achieve today's needs and tomorrow's possibilities. Call Ensight at 226-0024 or online at en-site.com.
Feeling alone? Feeling lost? Feeling helpless? We're here to help. Call 277 or 775-9600. Rated R for Recovery on 96 K-Rock.
Whiskey bottles and brand new cars. Oak tree in my way. There's too much coke and too much smoke. Look what's going on inside you.
277 or 775-9600. Call with your questions or comments. Can you hear me? Oh my goodness. You need to be ready when I go to you. Do you have to press the button to talk? Talk.
I can hear you. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
Do we have anything from the Sidney and Byrne Davis Art Center is a great supporter of Celebrate Recovery. I mean, maybe Celebrate Recovery. Rated R for Recovery here on 96 K-Rock and 96krock.com. Do we have anything to give away?
We have tickets for their Monday night events. We have a couple of those to give away.
All right. I need you on your toes when I go to talk to you.
I will be on my toes or standing up.
All right. Good job. All right. What do you got over there?
I'm on. Yay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Good to go.
Yeah. All right. So we got tickets to give away to the Sidney and Byrne Davis Art Center. We are grateful for their support to Rated R for Recovery. Melissa is a wonderful woman who, no matter what goes on there, they give us tickets.
And it's the coolest building in town.
It is a cool building. Have you
my favorite.
Have you ladies been there? Yeah?
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
All right. Now, I'm going to start to get angry because that's an issue of mine. You have to talk into the microphone.
Knock it off.
Okay. Thank you.
Snap. We got Loretta.
I know.
That's right.
Okay. Our guests at Rated R for Recovery are TLS Consulting. They are substance abuse counseling and life skills and all sorts of things. And in the studio with us live, as opposed to not live, is Tanya Slater, owner, creator, founder, officiant, and Miss Loretta from the jail.
I think I'm going to call her Loretta the Hammer.
The Hammer.
Hammer.
Hammer?
Hammer time.
Okay. So the
Love
amount of people that go through either life, is there an aftercare for life skills?
Yes.
Yes, and it's free.
And the substance abuse is not
Free? Yes, they're both free.
We got to get you in there.
okay. Hold on, we got a caller on the line here.
Oh God.
Whoop-de-doo.
Okay. All right, I think he got it that time. We get anyway. So 277 or 775-9600 is the number, and you're listening to Rated R for Recovery on 96K Rock and 96krock.com. If you'd like to call in, Troy is now ready to take your phone calls. And where are we at now? We're talking about life skills, and I just
we're
got
going to get
irate
you some
there
of them. They're free.
Yes, go ahead.
Anger management.
You can talk.
Okay, I can talk?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone who has been in our program at the jail, either life skills or substance abuse, can come to the aftercare, and it's free. For some folks who haven't finished at the jail, completed the time to get their certificates and stuff, it helps with that. Aftercare is a wonderful thing. Tanya and I have also set up, we do big time transitions now, and we've also set up a little telephone for when the inmates come to a bump in the road for something that we've planned in their plan of recovery that's not working out, and they can call us.
Give us an example of that.
Well, Honey's going to take me home because she thinks I'm really changing. And you get home and Honey doesn't want any part of you.
Yeah.
So then we have to find them a bed in a halfway house or treatment center, or and when they have troubles with their job, they need to, when they call, encouragement is a big thing when you're dealing with a drug addict and alcoholic who has absolutely no self-esteem and nowhere to go, and they burned all their bridges. So I think what we do the best is encourage them to keep trying, just to keep trying. So when they get out there and something happens in their plan, there's this phone that Tanya and I have established for them.
And that's all free.
That's all free.
When we're on the street, when I was on the street, when you want help, you'll get help. And you don't have to have money to get help. I can tell you that right now. When I first tried to get sober, I don't remember what year it was, because I was probably
year 2.
The year 2? Probably not. But thank you for your encouragement.
When God was a boy.
Yes. It wasn't that long ago. But I you know what I did is I had lent my car to a drug dealer and they didn't come back. Go figure. And my friend whose initial, I shall say, begins with an M, she taught me the ropes on the street not to do that. So, but I had done it, and she and so I was wandering, and I was a low bottom drug addict. So here I am, 138 pounds of me with no teeth, walking the streets, and I came to detox by mistake. And I went, that's
no mistakes.
But I know exactly. And I went to them and I said, I need help. And they said, we don't have a bed. Come back tomorrow. And I said, no. And they said, what do you mean no? And I said, I'm not violent, and I get very emotional when I relive this. I'm not violent, and I don't mean to cause you any harm, but I'm not going anywhere. Mm-hmm. And I sat there on that picnic table outside Detox, which was located on Dixie Parkway at the time. Mm-hmm. And they finally, after about 3 hours, came out and said, we have a bed. Mm-hmm. And so when we're willing to go to any lengths to get it, something, and God does that. God does that, or whatever God you believe in.
Mm-hmm. Could I say one more thing?
You can. Yeah, we got 35 minutes left. You can say a lot of stuff.
35 minutes?
Yes.
I thought it was a half hour. Okay. This telephone number, they get it while they're in the jail, and when they get out, very often I get calls from people who are really doing very well. And recently I got a phone call from a young man who just had no direction in life. And he called to tell me that he completed his first semester at Edison Community.
Isn't that amazing?
And that he is back in his child's life. And that's the thing.
Yeah.
When they're back again as parents and they're doing something about their situation, that's the thing that keeps me going at my very young age.
And they have better coping skills.
Yes. And I'm so proud of that. And then when people are in treatment and get to we have one guy who was in our classes, and he's up in a treatment center in Sarasota, and he's a veteran. Lots of stuff out there for veterans right now, so you got to get it while you can. And he is now on staff at Harvest House in Sarasota, and he's doing very well.
Harvest House, and that's
It's a faith-based program up in Sarasota.
Okay.
And they do very well. Our guys do great up there.
Okay.
We have a wonderful relationship with that facility.
I once had to add something a while ago. You asked the question about who comes to aftercare, how many people, and all that. And I need to say that, we don't personally we see a small number that, like I said, they make it. They do very well. However, I was thinking about that question. There's a lot of people from all over the county, and sometimes even other counties and other states, and they'll go back. And, you brought up a good point, too, that reminded me that it's not my aftercare that matters. It is the point that there's places and people all over open, and that they take the people in no matter where they go. And we all start somewhere, like on a picnic bench at SWAFIS, at Detox, or a jail cell at Lee County. And the one thing that we do, like a seed is planted in the first person, and then they move on and they begin to grow. So I think we have and I can tell you this, if you go through our programs, my treatment at my office or wherever it is, or at the jail or whatever, we have less people returning. And to me, that's a success.
Oh, absolutely. What got you into this? What started this? Because, when you what got you into it? Let me leave it at that.
Okay. Well, I was actually a state probation officer.
No way.
Yes, I was.
You were not.
With a gun. She had a gun.
And a badge.
Yes, I did. And I worked for the state of Florida. And whenever the Salvation Army opened up the non-secure treatment facility, I was actually one of that's telling my age. I don't like to do this, but I was one of the first people who worked there with the probation department. So anyway, I saw at my time there that most of my probationers, I was a community control officer, and I did everybody who was released from prison in this whole county was mine at the time.
Where was this now?
Lee County.
Here?
Yes.
What years were that?
I'm not saying.
Okay.
Some things I won't disclose. But anyway, a lot of people, I'll put it this way, a lot of people know me. So, but I saw that people were hurting, and it wasn't, they were good people, and it wasn't like they were setting out to do horrible things. And their children were good kids, and I could see that the families loved them, and there was so much pain, and suffering. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is not working out. Something's got to change. So I started using every referral source I had. I would send you to the restitution center in Bradenton. I sent you to treatment, wherever I could get you. And, so that's how it started. And then I thought, I'm going to continue my education, and I went that direction. And then that's how it just kind of one thing led to the next, to the next, to the next.
When you say education, what did you do? What did you do? What's your degree?
I have I have a bachelor's in criminal justice and social work. I have a master's in human services, and I have another master's in mental health counseling. I'm like this close to the license. I'm like licensed mental health. I've got to finish up one little thing left, and that's it. I'm a certified addiction professional, CAP, CCJAP, which is criminal justice addiction professional, certified mental health professional, state of Florida.
What's your day like?
Busy all day long, all day up until the nighttime. I work somewhere around 12, 13, sometimes 16 hours a day.
So what time do you get to the office?
Usually about 8:30, 9 o'clock.
And are you seeing clients throughout the day and night and into the evening?
Yes.
How often do you get to go back to jail?
I go there about 2 times a week.
Oh, you do?
Or once or twice a week, right?
You do, because there was a period of time where you didn't get to go for a while,
right?
Because I would look for you, and and they would say you are well, and but you weren't coming as much, and you were missed. You have a gift that is in your heart. you have a somebody. You pick it up, will you?
You're
Come
gonna
on.
cry again.
Yeah,
I had
I'm
a
a crier.
question.
Okay.
You talked about all the different life skills that you help with, and you help with treatment. What about people who have problems other than drugs and alcohol? Like maybe they have a mental
Yes.
disorder or like anxiety or whatever you.
Yes, we do dual diagnosed treatment. We have another person who works up. She actually has been with me for a while. I've known her for many years. She works with us. We do a lot of bipolar, dual diagnosis, substance abuse, and whatever disorders, that kind of run together.
Yes.
So we absolutely do that.
So that's amazing.
It is. Well, everything's amazing. Everything's amazing.
They got you covered.
How connected are you with the different sober houses in town? I'm sure there's some good ones and some not so good ones. How do you discern which houses to do?
Loretta goes and checks them out.
Do you
for
really?
me.
Yeah.
She does. She gets in the car.
I get in the
she
car.
goes and checks them out. Calls me.
And I go at odd times.
Oh.
Like I'll
Like
go at
3
9
a.m.?
o'clock and see what's going on there, and 7 o'clock in the morning, and if they're lounging around and hanging out and stuff. I don't want to have my people there. They need a little more structure. I work with After the Rain, of course. I have for years.
Yeah.
And Harmony House. Harmony House is less structured than After the Rain.
Well, After the Rain is, if you're talking about on a scale, After the Rain is is more structured than any other sober living facility that we've come in contact with,
Right.
I believe.
Well, and haven't they been around kind of longer than than a lot of these other places?
Yeah.
But
They've
I'll tell
got
you,
some experience.
the people that run Harmony House,
Yeah.
they have a good heart. They have a good heart for the people in recovery. The only thing is that they don't live there.
Right.
They have one person with a lot of sobriety time for halfway house people.
Right.
And they are kind of the go-to people if somebody has a problem. And they are they get in the car and come if there's something wrong. Now, they also have a thrift store down on
right up the
41.
street. It's right up the street from the radio station.
Oh,
Right.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yes.
And every single penny of that money goes to house the halfway houses.
Well, I'm sure
That's
they have
what
to pay
it's
their rent.
Well, I'll remember that because I'm
please
cleaning
do.
my room today.
Please do. They also pick up, furniture and things like that. And what they do also is when our guys and gals get out of jail, they get themselves down there and they'll give them 2 outfits for the job search. They will help
Nice.
them get their IDs. They have a grant that helps folks get their IDs, driver's licenses, whatever.
Sure.
Birth certificates. And they're good people. Bus passes.
They
if
are
need
good
be.
people.
You ought to get them on here too one day.
I will.
Get them both because it's like a comedy team.
I know. I know. They're upstate New York, or New Yorkers,
They're New Yorkers.
New Jersey people. Anyway,
New
they're
Yorkers.
very nice. They're very nice, and as well as the Emmaus House, which is a Christ-centered reentry recovery program for men, which has one house in downtown Fort Myers. And they had a thrift store. They were doing the exact same thing, not with the driver's license and IDs, but with the outfits. And they were working in conjunction with Miss Beverly from After the Rain, and so that if they were women, they sent them over. If they were just coming from jail, they could come there and get stuff like that. They are faith-based recovery, and they I don't know if they subscribe what type of curriculum they have, but it is well structured. I mean, you have to get up, you have to go look for a job, you can't hang around the house, and all this stuff is so important when we're new in sobriety.
So do they no longer have a thrift store?
They no longer do. That
Okay.
that was such a big piece of property that they had to close it down, I believe. It was just
Okay.
not manageable anymore. But anyway.
Okay, getting back to the halfway house.
Yes.
Very often we'll hear about a halfway house, and if I know the person, because I know a lot of people in
Yes, you do.
recovery, if I know the person and I know what kind of a program they're working, then and I know that they have tried to get a 501c3. A 501c3 means the federal government's looking at you,
Yeah.
and looking at your books.
Yeah.
Then I will pay attention. But if somebody doesn't care that whether or not they get a 501c3,
And they just open the
and they
door
just open
and-
up a door and it's a flop house, my folks don't. I don't recommend that they go there.
Well, it's dangerous.
What if the sober living facility is not a 501c3 and it is for profit, and they do a good job? I mean, are there houses like that?
I have no problem with that.
There's one in town that
You
does
do not?
well.
I do not.
Okay.
You do not have a problem with
No,
that?
I don't.
Okay.
I mean, a good
Well,
facility.
I'm not saying I do. I'm just.
No, I don't either.
a
But
good facility is a good facility,
in
but
the beginning,
Which facility is that,
Next Step is a good facility.
Rob?
Right.
Yeah.
It's good. And it's for profit. It's not a 501c3
I know
to
it
my
is.
knowledge.
Yeah. Rob and his
And-
new wife.
Oh.
They got married, you know.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
He was in here on one of our first shows.
Yeah.
So-
and we I go there and Andrea and I speak about people, and I try to place women there if they're appropriate for there. Some of the folks that leave the jail, they're not ready to just go live in a halfway house and the next day go get a job.
Right.
They're just not.
Right.
So they need a little stopping off place sometimes
Yeah.
too.
Oh, me too.
Right. But I don't get me wrong about the 501c3 as opposed to the for-profit. For-profit is fine if you have a track record. That's fine. I'm all for it.
What if you don't have a track record? What if you just opened?
I'll help you.
There's a
Then it's-
sober house in town that was a guest. Well, I won't say that it recently opened, and it's a younger man who's trying to do the best he can. It seems. And so, do they ask for your help? Do they?
Never. I have not heard from him. I know who he is.
Maybe he doesn't know you.
Maybe not.
Okay.
But
so it's
getting back to Harmony House.
Yes.
Harmony House did come and ask me for help,
Okay.
and
Did you ask them how they found
corralled
you?
everybody and that I knew that could help them.
And it's how we do in recovery. We
Right.
watch and wait, watch. Don't just listen to what I say. Watch my feet.
Right.
What am I doing?
Absolutely.
Right,
And-
and I helped her with sign-in sheets, proof that they're looking out for jobs and stuff. They just can't go and live there and not pay rent. That we need to be accountable and we have to pay our own way.
Well, yeah, that's true. But what happens? Listen, I'm coming out of jail or I'm coming off the street. I haven't worked in years. I've been selling drugs and taking drugs, and my life is totally unmanageable. So how much time? I mean, I'm going to need some time to get a job. I'm not going to come in and start paying my rent. How is that possible?
That's why they have their thrift store.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood you.
They do not let anyone come because they don't have money.
Right.
Money's not an object
Right.
with them in the beginning.
Money should be not, as far as I'm concerned, and this is me saying because I don't own one of these sober living facilities, that money should not be an object with any of them because I know what it's like. I know that I can get a job if I want to work, but it's going to take me a little while.
Well, and however, realistically, we all know that it takes some money to keep your doors open.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So, there's that.
That's why all these places should be funded by the government, the good ones.
Oh, dear.
No? Well, anyway.
No comment.
Okay. No comment. Okay, all right. So now, what is your experience when you first started? I'm back to Tanya. By the way, 277 or 775-9600. This is Rated R for Recovery on 96 K-Rock, 96krock.com. Our guest in the studio is Tanya Slater and Loretta from the jail. TLS Consulting in North Fort Myers and downtown Fort Myers. The owner, operator, facilitator, creator of TLS Consulting is Tanya Slater. Tanya, thank you again for being here. And when you started this, what was the first experiences you've had? I mean, as a PO, you saw firsthand the devastation that this causes.
Right.
I'm more connected. I was on the street. When I was on the street, I saw the women. The women, it was just they broke my heart, even though I did not have a heart to break. It was kind of a weird one of these catch-22 things. I knew inside I cared, but my action, there it goes. I could tell you I cared, but my actions didn't show it because all I wanted was my next bag of crack cocaine. So
my best friend likes to say, I was judging myself by my intentions, and the world was judging me by my actions.
Yes. Is that your husband? No?
It could be.
Okay. All right. She has a fabulous husband.
Yes, I do.
So you saw this devastation.
I did.
And you saw the women that prostituted themselves to get more crack or more heroin or whatever, and told you face to face that my kids are the most important things in my life, but they weren't. and they.
Oh, and here's one thing, the thing about I would die for my kids. I would die for my family. And, and I have to say, they don't need you to die for them. They need you to live for them.
Amen.
Well, on the encouragement side.
Yes. So
I tell the ladies that you were the best mother that your disease allowed you to be.
You did the best you could.
You did the best you could with what you had to work with.
But when you know better, you do better.
That's right.
You guys work well together. You could have your own radio show after this
Maybe
one.
we will.
Oh.
I sing too.
You do?
Oh.
Yeah.
So does she,
You've got some duets.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to Gwendolyn's Cafe in downtown Fort Myers for brunch today.
Oh, nice.
There is a fabulous guitar player who is the runner-up at the Telluride Blues Festival.
Oh,
Now,
wow.
before my ADD gets the best of me and I go off on a tangent, I started to talk to Tanya about when you first started this. What was the process and how? Tell us about the growth.
Well, one of the things that really got me was when I was doing the prison releases, there was a lot of women coming out, and their histories were not good, drug addiction, on the street, leaving their children, blah, blah, blah. So I remember one young lady in particular, and I really took interest in her because I knew that there was something in her that she wanted to do the right thing, but she was just so overwhelmed with being addicted. It was just, and she did all right with me, but at the time that she was released, and that's the other thing is sometimes people, as long as they're in a program or they're with me on probation or with whatever, they know they're okay.
Yeah.
But as soon as she got away from me, I was driving down the street one day and I saw her and I pulled over and I said, "Hey, get in this car. I'm taking you to detox," because she was a mess. "No, Tanya, I'm good. No, Tanya." I said, "No, you're not good. Get in here." No, I'm good. I'll be all right. And I'm like, "Please, just go with me. You've got to stop this." Nope, she wouldn't do it. I said, "Okay." So I drove away. And the next time I saw her, they were taking her dead body out of Ben Street house where this guy had killed her. And I saw it on TV, and I'm like, "Oh my God, that's my girl." And she was dead. And her mother loved her so much, and she lost her daughter. And this girl had a daughter of her own, and she lost her mother.
Yeah.
And so those are the things that changed me. Those are the things that helped mold me to become something different than I was, because I knew that there were people out there who needed help, and that. We just needed to change the way we were doing things, because throwing people in prison is not always the answer to everything. Yes, I know that maybe my kid's alive for a while because they're there.
Yeah.
But I've got to get them somehow living in this world the right way, that they can make it here.
It's funny you said what you just said, because my sister used to say to me, my mom died before it was full-blown addiction. What am I saying? 2003, my mother passed away, and then after that, my sister had to deal with the chaos I caused in our family. And she said to me one time, "I'm glad you're in jail, because I know where you are. I know you're safe, and I know you're getting fed, and
you often hear that.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but you're saying there's more to it than that, and of course there is. But the families don't know what to do because we've stolen from them, we've lied to them, we've manipulated them. Mom's gotten up, to go to work, and her car's gone because Junior has gone off to get some pills or whatever.
Right.
So that being said, continue with what you're saying.
Well, some of the thing is that, like this mother, this is a good example, but problem is that a lot of times and you all know this, the families enable, and they just keep this going because they think they're doing the right thing. So you keep bonding Junior out of jail.
Right.
So what do you teach? Behavior. It's behavior. What are you teaching Junior? Well, okay, I'll go get drunk, get crazy, go to jail. Mom and Dad's going to come get me.
Yep.
And I'll get an attorney, and they'll get me out.
They'll get me out of this.
277 or 775-9600. You're listening to Rated R for Recovery on 96KROC and 96KROC.com. We'll be back after this.
From the huge studios, WRXK, Bonita Springs, Naples, Fort Myers, a Beasley Broadcast Group station, 96KROC and 96KROC.com. Talk that rocks.
Have you been considering a kitchen renovation or bathroom remodeling? There's no one better to call than the professionals at Honey's Construction. Value, beauty, and functionality. Get the right design for your kitchen or bathroom and add significant value to your home. Call Honey's Construction today at 229-4949 4934 for a free in-home consultation. Honey's Construction's purpose and mission is to fulfill dreams and to be grateful for the many blessings we enjoy each and every day. 229-4934. Get the taste of home while eating out. Gwendolyn's Cafe and Catering. Open daily for breakfast and lunch and located at 2400 First Street in downtown Fort Myers. Gwendolyn's Cafe and Catering specializes in homemade soups, salads, sandwiches, and desserts. And Gwendolyn's has been rated 5 stars by Urban Spoon and Yelp. Get the taste of home while dining out. Or let us bring the taste of home to your home with our free delivery. Gwendolyn's Cafe and Catering, 2400 First Street, downtown Fort Myers.
Every Friday night at 6:45 p.m., experience Celebrate Recovery at Grace Church at 13 Southeast 21st Place in Cape Coral. The purpose of Celebrate Recovery is to encourage fellowship and to celebrate God's healing power in our lives as we work our way along the road to recovery. By working through the 12 steps and 8 principles of Celebrate Recovery, we grow spiritually and we are freed from our hurts, habits, and hang-ups. Celebrate Recovery every Friday night at 6:45 p.m. at Grace Church, 13 Southeast 21st Place in Cape Coral. If you're looking for a place to find recovery, please consider the 1149 Foundation, located at 50 Pine Island Drive in North Fort Myers in the AutoZone Plaza. We currently have 3 meetings per day at noon, 5:30, and 8 p.m. We've been offering this area a safe place for over 20 years. No matter what you've done, no matter where you've been, you're not alone and are welcome at the 1149 Foundation. Come check us out or call 677-6107. That's 677-6107.
I didn't know where to turn when our son started doing drugs. I didn't know our medicine cabinet was what got him started. I didn't know that help was available at SWAFUS. SWAFUS has a residential program just for kids 17 and younger and weekly group therapy. The help is affordable too. I'm much smarter now, thanks to SWAFUS.
Addiction is a disease. Recovery is possible. We will help. Call 332-6989 now or visit us online at swfas.org.
A Heavenly Cut Landscaping and Celebrate Pressure Washing has been serving Lake County for over 7 years. Commercial and residential landscaping is our specialty. We also have an experienced pressure cleaning staff as well. A Heavenly Cut Landscaping and Celebrate Pressure Washing offers a free on-site estimate and is available by calling 738-9009. That's 738-9009. We are grateful for the opportunity to help beautify your property. Call today, 738-9009. A Heavenly Cut Landscaping and Celebrate Pressure Washing.
That's going to leave a mark. But not if you bring your vehicle to DHAB Your Automotive Rehab, your one-stop shop for all auto body work and paint. No job too big or small. With over 25 years experience, DHAB can make your vehicle look like the accident never happened. DHAB Your Automotive Rehab is located at 2534 Highland Street, 1 block off Edison Avenue in Fort Myers. So if you have a scratch, ding, dent, or bent, call DHAB Your Automotive Rehab at 332-1813.
Designs that are enduring. Designs that are engaging. Designs from Ensight. Ensight is a leading Florida-based design, planning, and engineering firm offering innovative planning, landscape architecture, civil engineering, and more. Whether it's a place to live, work, learn, shop, or play, let the award-winning design team at Ensight help you achieve today's needs and tomorrow's possibilities. Call Ensight at 226-0024 or online at en-site.com.
Have you been charged with a crime? You could face serious penalties for conviction, and it is vitally important that you have skilled legal assistance on your side during this time. Call Brian L. Edwards, Esquire, Attorney at Law today. 888-512-6254. Results matter. With a track record of success, our methods are tried and true. Mistakes happen, but we can help. Brian L. Edwards, Esquire, Attorney at Law. Visit FortMyersCriminalLawFirm.com or call 888-512-6254. Call 277 or 775-9600. Now back to Rated R for Recovery on 96 K-Rock and 96KRock.com.
I caught you knocking at my cellar door. I love you, baby, can I have some more? Ooh, the damage done.
Love this riff.
I hit the city and I lost my band. I watched the needle take another man. Gone, gone, the damage done.
You like that song? We played that in jail one time. I don't remember if that was with you or you were there.
I was there.
You were?
Yes, I was.
You don't remember that. There is no way you remember that.
Didn't we? Did you play on a guitar?
No, somebody played the guitar and I sang it.
Yes, I was there.
I was there too.
And they told you not to sing.
They did.
They
Don't
said,
sing.
John.
He was warned.
My boss here, I work here, and he said, "Don't ever sing on the radio again. Don't you dare do it." 277 or 775-9600. You're listening to Rated R for Recovery. We are 96K-Rock and 96krock.com. Our guest in the studio, we have a few minutes left, is TLS Consultants, Tanya Slater and Loretta from the jail. We call Loretta from the jail. Why do we call you that?
Because that's how people know me.
Okay.
You know, I have to tell you, there are several occasions during the year that I see women, mainly women, in recovery that are doing so well.
Right.
And they'll say, "Oh, Miss Loretta from the jail." That's how I got my last name.
Okay.
My last name is really Brady.
Okay.
Like the
Tom
bunch.
Brady.
Like the bunch.
And Tom Brady, since I'm a Bostonian. I'm a Bostonian. Come on. Okay, back to you, Tanya.
Okay.
We also deal with codependency, whether it be the family or the addict themselves. The addict themselves I shouldn't say always. That's ridiculous. I'm codependent.
Right.
So
Ooh,
tell us
yes,
what
you are.
Oh, stop it.
You scratch an
helping
alcoholic
you.
addict, you get a codependent.
Do you?
Yeah, you scratch.
Well,
Underneath is a codependent.
Then there's really no, unless they've changed it, there's no real diagnosis for a codependent. But we do know that what that is that you're, say, an alcoholic. There's always a family member that behaves in certain ways, and so in other words, I'm married and I call my husband in, he's drunk, right? He's sick all the time. I call him into work. I start picking up his stuff. I become addicted to him. I become addicted to taking care of him, getting him through things.
And however his mood
Right.
is, that's how we go.
Right.
What's the difference between a people pleaser and a codependent then?
Well, it depends how far you go. People
Just a little
pleasing
further down the road.
It really is just a little bit of a line you cross there.
People pleasing's worse than codependence?
No, not quite
No.
as bad.
No.
But it goes in the same direction.
Okay, so talk about codependency then.
So what I see is that families are, the parents, a while ago when I was talking about that, parents do the best they can. I'm with Loretta on that because, people do the best they can with what they have at the moment. And they think they're doing the right thing by helping their kids all the time who now grow up to be 50-year-old and still live with mommy. And there's something wrong with that.
What's wrong with that?
So, but the thing is that if the family can get a hold of the fact that they have to put some boundaries down and start to begin to say, "Hey, I love you, but I'm not doing that." But
Right.
a lot of times, like you pointed out earlier, they just become so frustrated that they kick you all the way out of their lives, and that's not good either. So it's that middle ground, again, the balance thing, that works the best.
My sister must be a very healthy woman. You know what? Because she set those boundaries. I will do this. I will write to you. I will... What else? I will talk to you when it's convenient for me, but that's all you're getting from me. You will not get money.
Drunken dial 3 a.m. calls, not for me.
She was, but she must be very healthy.
She must be.
She must be. Well,
You're blessed.
Yes.
I am.
And so is she.
Her name's Kathy. Okay. So anyway, does the codependency come from the after I start to get clean and sober? Then you have to deal with the underlying issues because the drink and the drug are only merely a symptom of a greater problem.
Yes, because
I need
now
lots
these
of help.
other things start manifesting, like yes, anger. Yes, absolutely, anger can be one of the
Depression.
things. Yes,
Codependency.
anxiety. Yes, all those things start to come out. So now, not only do I don't use anymore, but I'm very pissed off now. So I'm an angry person, and so now what do? I was people like me better when I was drinking.
Yeah, and that's the difference between somebody who maybe has a drinking problem. When they quit drinking, everything gets better,
Right.
and their life gets better, and they're just fine. Thank you very much. But if you're an alcoholic or an addict, you put down the stuff, and things get really weird.
Well, that's the difference between.
Can't make it.
That's I put down if I'm truly addicted or alcoholic, then I have to do more than putting it down.
Yes, and chances are you can't do it all by yourself.
No, of course I
We
can.
were talking about that on the way here. You know, that if you can put the drink and the drug down and go on your merry way, then I wouldn't call that person necessarily, not that it's up to me to call them, you know, but I wouldn't call that person an alcoholic or an addict. I would call them a drug abuser or someone who had a heavy drinking problem. Whereas if you're an alcoholic or an addict, you can't do it alone. That's the deal. I can't do it by myself.
Well, we call that abuse and dependency. There's a difference. You're absolutely right. There's
Yes.
abusing drugs or abusing alcohol is way different from being dependent upon it. Now, again, you cross the line, and then that's where you start from there.
But you're what do you mean dependent?
Okay,
physically dependent?
Well, no, you can be emotionally,
Emotionally.
mentally, physically dependent.
Gotta have it.
Yeah, because crack cocaine is not physically addictive.
Well, what happens to the criminal?
Well, I am all those. What do you mean? What do you mean?
Well, somebody who can have smoke a little marijuana every now and then.
Yeah.
They're not stealing their mom's checkbook.
No,
Right.
They're not taking people's credit cards.
Right.
So goes the difference. When you cross the line, you really cross the line.
It's
the thing about
it's
our
easy to
program,
cross with crack cocaine.
The thing about our program, we connect the criminal thinking to the substance abuse.
What do you mean?
Absolutely.
What does that mean?
Criminal thinking is, okay, anything I can get over, I will find a way. There's always a way. I will find the hole, and I will take it, and I will do it.
That was me.
That's a criminal thinker.
That's a thinker.
But everybody has it, I think. It's just how bad is it?
I was so proud of myself when I got sober, and the first time I went to someone's house and didn't look in their medicine cabinet, oh my gosh, I was so proud of myself.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I would steal from my grandmother, so it doesn't matter. I would
Right.
steal from my best friends. I would steal from...
And that's criminal thinking.
But I don't think that way
Is
today.
that a social
No.
thinker?
That's what we're talking about.
You're not. Yeah, you don't do that anymore.
But it wasn't who John the person was. Who's John the person became as a result of their obsession with crack cocaine.
Yep.
Right.
We're agreeing with you.
Oh.
And did you
okay.
know crack cocaine
Never
is
mind.
back on the rise now too? It was gone for a little bit, not gone, but the use was down. But I would say in the past few months, I have seen a lot of people back using crack again.
Yeah. And a lot of it is based on the market.
Mm-hmm.
It's whatever they. I'm serious.
It's true.
It's whatever they've got to push.
Supply and
Like
demand.
peaches are in season.
In the early 90s. In
It's
the
crack
early
season.
90s, it was heroin, and heroin was
Well.
they wanted to push the heroin, and so you could buy your coke really cheap as long as you also bought the heroin, and then
mix
so
the two.
heroin use. Well, you can do whatever you want with it, but if I'm a buyer, the seller says you can have this coke for such and such a price if you also buy this heroin. I mean, just like the market.
Well, now
know?
there's morphine is dilaudid, more
It's
things
the
we
pills
haven't
now,
seen.
right?
Actually, the pills started going back down after this law came out. That did help that, but it's the different pills now. We see there's like old school pills coming back.
Is the meth big here?
It is, yes, and
It wasn't when I was on the street. I never ran into
Yeah,
it.
and I don't see it that much, but then I'm not really on the
it's
street
not
anymore.
it's not. It is and it isn't here. I mean, I thank God
Kind of a
that
Midwest kind of.
right. We've sort of been, gotten by with that.
Right. Do you see a lot of it? No. Okay. All right.
Just when they blow their cars and houses up.
Yeah. Or those
are-
two labs that
Yeah.
got busted in the
Right.
Cape. That was
Right.
like back to back in 1 week. So that might have, But the police department, I guess, and the sheriff's department do a good job with getting a hold of the dealers.
Yeah, they
and,
do.
and stopping it, nipping it in the bud. I could never understand why the police would bust me for buying. I never got busted that way, but that would set up with fake crack cocaine and they'd be police officers selling it. But I don't want to get into any negative talk. So.
No, and maybe they're trying to get some bigger fish by pulling in the little ones. You never know.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. We would rat on our people. Yes. Which we would do anything to stay out of jail. Believe me. I don't
Whatever
care
works.
who you are. Anyway, 277 or 775-9600. I don't know why I'm doing this. We've actually run out of time. This hour goes by very quickly. And we're so grateful to have the guests we have each week. This week's guests have been Tanya Slater, owner, operator, controller facilitator, originator of TLS Consulting, along with Miss Loretta from the jail, who works for TLS Consulting and is a blessing in the different women's and men's lives when they come through this process known as the Lee County Justice System. Would you give your contact information before we sign off once again?
It's 239-997-7770 and tlsconsulting@yahoo.com.
And you want to say one thing about Gwen?
Plug Gwendolyn's Cafe today for brunch, and there's a musician.
I don't think it's actually brunch today. I think it's blueberry pancakes and sausage. I think that's what it is. Gwendolyn's Cafe, the only 5-star restaurant located at the corner of 1st and Lee Street in downtown Fort Myers. Gwendolyn's Cafe has been in existence for 3 years now and is catering for big parties, small parties, and whatnots. That's all we got. We're overtime now. Thank you very much. You've been listening to 96K Rock, 96krock.com. We are Rated R for Recovery. Next week's guest is an ex-hooker.